So recently I did a video where I put my feet together and people said, Danny, how are you hitting the ball so far with your feet together with what appears like an effortless golf swing? In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the little tricks I share with many of my students to help them generate effortless power. But with power, you still want accuracy. And all the best players have a beautiful harmony with their golf swing, which I want to share with you how they are doing it, because anybody can benefit from a few extra yards if they're under control. Now, before I get into the video, look, if you're new to the channel, so your first lessons of mine, please consider subscribing. I release videos like this every single week to try and help you improve your game. Plus, you never have to remember a thing. I'll always put a free download practice guide in the description box below. So look, feet together, nice, effortless motion. I want to teach you that. I'm just using a 7-iron here. That's got what's 170 yards with my feet together, hopefully looking really, really simple. So how do we create this kind of effortless power? So the very first thing I want you to do, and you're going to be amazed at how simple this really, really is, I promise you. Now, keeping the butt level like this, don't move the butt. All I want you to do is let your trail hand just hinge in such a way that the shaft starts to point over your trail shoulder like this. Okay, so the hands are here, shaft pointing over here. This is the start almost of you producing the backswing. I'll come to that in a second. Now, on the way through, this is your follow through. Now what we're going to do, same principle, keeping the butt down here, we're just going to hinge the wrists. So the shaft now hinges over the lead shoulder. Just practice that a few times, get a sense of where this is going. Now, I get students just to hit shots like this, but watch why this is super, super valuable. You get this hinging correctly here, you've already preset almost the swing. Your trail elbow now will fold downwards and inwards. You're now setting the club look beautifully to work. All you do from here, look at this. If we were just turning at the same time, you have got the perfect backswing where the trail hand here is just beautifully folded and you're in the perfect spot at the top. On the way down, the reverse happens. As I'm coming down now, we're going to be coming back into impact. And now look, watch. We're going to, the hand action, the arm action is going to work like this. And this elbow now is going to sit downwards and the club's going to be pitched over here. This now, look at this. This becomes, look, your release. What do you notice? Where's my elbow? Is it stuck out here? No, it's naturally here. Where's the club pitched? Over this way. So what we're creating, look here, is the elbows pitching in here, the club's pitching beautifully out here, we're coming down, the club releases, and hey presto, you are starting to create the most beautiful, harmonized hand and arm action that is going to be hugely effortless. So let's show you how this works now on the ground. So what we're going to do, and I want you to do the same, is get a feeling. And before I go into that, actually, let me give credit here to Graham Walker, one of my mentors, who kind of gave me this drill. It's just brilliant. He's coached to Tommy Fleetwood. So from here, just get that sensation of this, the hinge here, hinging upwards. Notice I'm keeping the butts constant. And then from there, look, I'm just going to blend in the body motion. So the body is simply pivoting backwards and forwards. Why I love the feet together with this is it just naturally gets your body doing perfect things. When your feet are apart to start with, you can sway around. When your body's together, your body's going to naturally want to kind of beautifully pivot on the spot. Well, if you then match look at this kind of hinging motion in here, you've got this beautifully harmonized backswing. And then look on the way through, look, we're going to practice this motion. So now look, we're going to let the club naturally release. This elbow's folded in, the club's released over, and hey presto, we've got this beautiful harmonized golf swing. And if I start to sway around a little bit here, which would make it not harmonized, I'm going to feel it straight away, yeah? So let's have a look at this in action. So when you're over the ball, you might be asking, well, you know, how do you initiate this movement? Well, you know, two students I gave this drill to, and they came up with different visuals. One of them, John, just said, look, this just makes so much sense. He did one or two of these, bang, and then just went on and hit it. He just got that feeling of backswing and downswing. Whereas, you know, another one, Jamie, he basically swung back and he said, Danny, this feels like a halfway back position, and this feels like a halfway through position. And it is, right? So he just visualized swinging halfway back here and then halfway through here. Show you from this angle. Here, where look, elbows folding down, clubs pitching over here. This automatically got him beautifully getting the harmonized arm and hand action to match his body. So let's have a look. Let's me hit a shot doing this. So I personally like this kind of sensation. Just 1, 2, get a rhythm of that motion, and away we go. Nice and simple. I could do that all day long. It feels effortless. It's going to go beautifully straight, like 172 yards. And don't know about you, I could play golf like that, okay? So let's move on to step 2. You've developed now this beautiful hand and arm action, right? You've got a feeling of what's going on. You've got to link it more to actually strike. So the feet together exercise is great because what it does is it helps you return the club back down onto the ground in the correct spot, right? This is really important. But as your feet move apart, you might start to move around a little bit, okay? But let's start to do this now. So get yourself set, and what we're going to do is we're going to move our feet apart so that the ball is in line, a club width inside your lead heel. This is the ball position that you want for every club with your irons, all your hybrids, all your iron shots, okay? Now what I want you to do is scratch a line in the grass here and here, all right? And what we're going to do is we're going to make some swings doing this beautiful hand and arm action here, making sure now that you're striking the turf just ahead of the golf ball, yeah? Now this is super important. This is what's going to give you that ball turf strike. It's what gives you consistent contact. Now I've noticed this. I'm not changing my hand and arm action to do this. I am continuing this beautifully hand and arm action. I'm just paying attention to where I'm striking it. If I start striking a little bit behind the ball, I just trust my body to naturally get used to it, do 2 or 3 swings, and then when you're ready, you go, okay? So this is a great routine for the golf course. You get yourself set, you visualize the scratch line here, scratch line there, you walk into the shot, you do a few little practice swings like this, 1, 2, get the strike, and then walk up to the shot, and then again, away we go, just clip a few away. Super, super simple, dead straight, 170, it's like shelling peas, right? Very, very simple. Or is it? Well, you and I both know it's not always that simple, isn't it? Taking things like this to a golf course can be quite tricky, which brings me on to step number 3, which is tempo and routine. I'm going to show you now how you can take this to a golf course. It becomes, again, more effortless. Tempo is basically speed. I want you to develop 3 different tempos: slow, medium, and fast, okay? Now, this is going to help you learn this movement incredibly quickly, but also take it to the golf course. So this is my tempo number 1, and you'll be surprised at how far this still goes. Tempo number 1, we're developing this motion, look, 1, 2, tempo number 1, yeah? You'll notice it's a bit slower than the last ones. Watch how far it goes, even just almost like a basic clip down the fairway. Look, we've got 151 yards. We can play golf like that, yeah? Really, really simply, yeah? And that's tempo number 1. Now, if I start to struggle and I lose this, I just go down the tempo. So this is tempo number 1. If I find that this is going really well, I can now switch gears, right? So now what I'm going to do is this looks pretty good. I'm now going to move to what feels like tempo number 2, which is a little bit faster, yeah? Backwards and forwards. So let's move to tempo number 2. Again, I'm still putting my feet together as well on this, right? So back here. Didn't feel much faster than tempo number 1, but it's still gone, look, 160 yards, yeah? So I might find that I've just lost a little bit of accuracy there. So I might, for now, look, think, do you know what? I'm going to stick at 160 until I start ripping that beautifully straight. There's no point in kind of going any further than that. Now, practicing these 3 tempos, that is going to help you take what we're doing now and take it to a golf course. Very, very simply. Yeah, if I was doing this, I wouldn't jump up to tempo number 3 at all at this stage. I would simply keep it at this pace. And this is what I want you to do, yeah? If I want to ramp it up to maybe tempo number 3, it looks something more like this. A little bit faster. And yes, it's going to go probably another 10 or 15 yards further there, look. So having that at your disposal is super, it's brilliant actually for you when you take it to the golf course. So step number 1, build this simple arm action, hand and arm action. That's your backswing halfway back. That's your follow through halfway through. Blend in the body with your feet together. Step number 2, make sure you start striking the ground in the same spot every time just after that golf ball. Then build the tempo in, slow, so you can learn it in a slow fashion first, then gradually get it bigger. And of course, start to move those feet apart when you start building that coordination in. It is the most effortless way to swing a golf club, and you'll learn it much, much faster. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, maybe share it with a friend. And look, this will only work if you have the basics in place. So a great grip and a great setup in terms of ball position. Check this video out for that. Really, really important. I'll probably watch this straight afterwards and then come to this one, all right? Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next week, have a wonderful golfing week.